Welcome back, everyone, to another Deep Dive Explainer. Today, we are channeling the energy of a top-tier research documentary to uncover a truly fascinating geographical anomaly. We're going to be exploring a place where centuries of history, wild geography, and cutting-edge technology literally collide in the most unexpected way possible.
Now, to kick things off, I want to hook you with a question that might sound like a bit of a trick. Pull up a mental map of the world in your mind for a second. Got it? Okay. Which country shares France's longest continuous land border? You're probably thinking Spain, right? Maybe Germany, or Italy, or even Belgium?
Well, the answer is actually Brazil. Yep, Brazil. Okay, let's dive into this, because this one single fact completely flips our standard geographical assumptions upside down. How on earth does a European nation have a massive, dense Amazonian border? It all comes down to a territory located on the northern coast of South America called French Guiana. And to really grasp what we're looking at today, we kind of have to completely reset our spatial awareness. We aren't looking at some tiny little island territory or a small overseas embassy compound. We are looking at a vast expanse of South American jungle that is, both legally and politically, a true neighbor to the Amazon.
Section 1. France's South American border.
Section 2. Conquest and territorial disputes. Let's move along and see how this all builds up. Because to understand how this map anomaly even exists in the present day, we have to rewind the clock and examine its pretty complex origins. If we take centuries of history and compress them into a single timeline, three major eras clearly stand out. First up, we have the European discovery of the Guiana region way back in 1499. Moving forward just over a century, we see the beginnings of official French colonization taking root in 1604. And that establishment ultimately set the stage for an incredibly long period of friction. From 1713 all the way up to 1935, the region was essentially defined by overlapping claims and constant disputes.
It's honestly remarkable when you think about the sheer scale of time involved here. From its initial discovery at the very tail end of the 15th century to the French establishment in the early 17th century, this specific plot of land was a continual focal point of imperial ambition. Over 200 years of territorial disputes unfolded as competing empires continually redrew the lines. It's just a classic, sweeping historical narrative of shifting borders that leads us right up to the 20th century.
Section 3. Becoming fully French. So, after centuries of being a heavily contested colonial possession, a massive political shift occurred that changed the region's trajectory forever. And that shift happened in the year 1946. This is a critical milestone that you absolutely need to remember. In 1946, French Guiana officially transitioned from a colonial territory to an overseas department. What that actually means is that it became a fully integrated part of the French Republic. Almost overnight, at least in historical terms, it was no longer just some distant possession. It was legally France.
And this brilliantly illustrates the resulting duality that makes this region so incredibly unique. On one hand, we have the physical reality of the environment, right? Dense Amazonian wildlife, tropical climates, and South American land borders. But on the other hand, we see the political and civic reality of the people living there. European Union laws, full French citizenship, and the euro acting as the daily currency. You can quite literally spend euros in the middle of the Amazon. It's mind-blowing.
Section 4. The Kourou Space Centre. Now, we're going to shift our focus from history and geography to the incredible modern infrastructure that makes this territory so economically and scientifically vital today. The Kourou spaceport is an absolute powerhouse. Economically speaking, it drives both the local economy and acts as the central hub for the entire European space industry. But geographically, it possesses a massive, massive advantage: perfect equatorial proximity. You see, because the Earth spins fastest right at the equator, launching rockets from here provides a natural gravitational slingshot boost. This extra speed makes this specific plot of land incredibly highly prized for space exploration.
But you know, it's not all just about rockets and satellites. French Guiana is a place of amazing contrasts. You have this thriving, vibrant local culture intertwined with some of the most unique Amazonian wildlife on the planet. And all of this coexists right alongside a high-tech, space industry-driven economy. It's a fascinating juxtaposition of deep, untouched nature and absolute cutting-edge technology sharing the exact same space.
Section 5. Modern strategic importance. Let's zoom out to the global perspective now to really understand why France, and by extension Europe as a whole, tightly holds on to this territory in the 21st century. So the crucial point is this: French Guiana is practically irreplaceable for modern Europe. As we just saw, it serves as the independent gateway to space for the European Union. Furthermore, it provides France and Europe with a direct sovereign geopolitical foothold right in the middle of South America. From both a scientific and an international relations standpoint, it remains a heavily guarded and absolutely key strategic asset today.
To really wrap our heads around all of this, consider how these facts dispel the most common myths about the territory. It's not an independent nation, nor is it some forgotten, loosely held colony. As we've established today, it is a fully integrated French department. It represents a totally unique blend of two continents, operating seamlessly as a literal piece of Europe nestled deep within the vibrant geography of South America.
Which leads us to a final, overarching question to think about. What does a border actually mean in the 21st century? Is it just a physical line drawn through a jungle, a shared currency, or the reach of a unified space program? French Guiana challenges practically everything we intuitively think we know about geography and national identity. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. I really hope this leaves you looking at our modern world map just a little bit differently.